Salam, brothers and sisters. Greetings to the subscribers. This is going to be a quick, brief reasoning on I first reading of the Rastafari Historical series entitled The Black Jews of Africa, History, Religion, Identity, written by Edith Bruder. And I just wanted to give just a brief reasoning summary on this book. Okay, and though this book may be labeled as secular knowledge, it has a great deal of historical value in a satanically driven world dominion. Okay, I explored the many ancient Jewish, Hebrew Israelite lost tribes that are now dispersed throughout North, South, East, West, and Central Africa, not mentioning the four corners of the earth. Hearing these testimonies and historical accounts alone should make ones and ones accept that these are the people of the ancient scriptures. Why were I and I never told in school when I and I were youths that African Americans were from a great lineage of Hebrew Israelite kings who at one time ruled ancient Israel, Egypt, and other portions of the world? It is very important. Okay, it's very important that these lost tribes of Israel gain a remembrance of just who they truly are or be. And books like this should be a valuable lesson in some Israelite history, in some basic Israelite history, and more importantly, on the Israelite in the present day. And readings as this help in the awakening of one's lost identity, and ultimately a recognition of the true Zion spiritually and physically, along with the recognition of the true one and only King of Kings, Gadamawi Haile Selassie I. Why did the churches never teach I or the Jehovah's Witnesses or the Mormons that come knocking on our door? How come they never taught us that Abraham was actually a black Hebrew pharaoh by the name of Mehebre-Kete, who had a son who was also a pharaoh by the name of Sheshi, which is a shortened name for Shishak, as we can see him in the Bible, or Isaac. And he was the Isaac, the Pharaoh. Okay, Sheshi was actually the first ruler of the 15th dynasty. How come we never were taught these things? Is this why archaeologists, anthropologists, etc., are getting it wrong? In the 16th dynasty, okay, and from Isaac, okay, from Yitzhak, okay, the first ruler, Sheshi or Shishak, okay, of the 15th dynasty, which is another name, Shishak. Some say that Shishak is Tutmosis III or whatever. However, this seems like more of a reasonable chronology. So now, Shishak, he had a son by the name of Yaakov or Jacob, who ruled during the 16th dynasty. And Yaakov He was also known to have 12 sons by the matriarchs Rachel, Leah, and the matriarch mistresses Bilhah and Zilpah. And Canaan was also known to have 12 sons. These 12 sons settled in each of the lands and territories of the 12 Kanat Yisrael tribes. Why? Why have I not heard of these things? The first reading should be an awakening for those ones who never thought Africa had anything to do with ancient Hebrew Israelites. And this book shall be just a little basic stepping stone for the ones and ones, no matter who you be, no matter who you are, to come to a cognition, to come to a realization of truth that is staring I and I in the face. Well, however, the global satanically driven world does not want to accept it. So we have these great pharaoh kings of Kanat Yisrael, that established the sovereign pharaonic state in the 18th dynasty via Moses, or he was also known as a priest of the Heliopolis city of On by the name of Osar Seth. And Moses was not one person. When we speak of Moses, when we speak of Solomon, these are houses. These are like, as Wyndham Yadin has said a couple of times, that these are more like fraternities. So when it's speaking about, when the Bible is speaking about certain individuals, Solomon, David, Moses, these are houses. So we must not look at it as just being one individual. It's speaking of more than, it's speaking of a house of people. So, hope we can just get a little bit of dissemination on some scriptures coming up. Yah willing, we can get some Bible studies going on, along with some disseminating, a proper dissemination of the scriptures and its proper historical context. So ones and ones do not have to be lost without a visualization while they are reading. So history is definitely very important, as I know. So yeah, we have these great kings from with Abraham coming in the 14th, 15th dynasty, okay, giving birth to Yitzhak, to Isaac, or Pharaoh Sheshi, okay, who in turn gave birth to Jacob, or Yaakov here, throne name Mer Usaray. And from was it 1150 to about 1650 BC is what shaped and molded the Israelites. And eventually during the 18th dynasty, via Moses, via certain Israelites during the 18th dynasty, along with Moses, formulated the sovereign pharaonic state of Israel. Thus, we have the people of the scriptures that are dispersed on the four corners of the earth, that need to come to a comprehension and understanding about just who they are. So let this book just be a reminder. Let this book be a refresher, and let this book be a history lesson. And if you know some of this, then so be it. But if you don't, then more power. And with that, I just want to say salam. Give thanks for tuning in once again. May the eye have a blessed evening. In the name of Ixyabiher, I bid peace.